There's this guy I follow on Instagram where I started following him just because he would just do the weirdest videos where like he pretends to run as different animals. So like, have you seen him?
Yeah.
And he's so funny. And then he's done like a whole bunch of other things. Did you guys see the ones where he did with like the action movie?
Mm-mm.
So it's him and his buddy, and he has the camera. And so he's like running in front of him, and they're doing all these crazy things, and he's like pretending to film him. It's so funny. I'm like, yeah, because that's how they do that.
Have you seen the one where the guy's dancing as different pasta noodles? He's like, and it's like how I envision different pasta noodles dancing in the night club. And it's like the linguine's like, I'm like,
perfect things that keep you up at night.
where are you? These have to be shower thoughts.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you know, when you're in the shower, you're just like, that's a great idea. And then, yeah.
He also did one where it was like the different laughs. And he was like doing all these different laughs. And there was one, it was Colton's. And so I send it to him, and I'm like waiting for him to like find his laugh. He doesn't even make it to his laugh, and he just like stops watching it. I'm like, no, I want you to hear your laugh. And he didn't.
Wait, hit laughs of like different people, or
yeah, so he'd be like yeah, like he would just pretend to do like all these different laughs, you know, and he'd be like
oh my gosh, I love content like that.
But it was just so funny.
There's a guy I just started following on Instagram who his whole like page, or the reason why he got so popular, is because he did women or like actresses at award shows. So like when they'll play like a clip from their movie and it's like something very like gut wrenching, and then they're sitting there like the screen goes to them and they're like after they just like yelled in the clip like and then it's like Meryl Streep. I'm like, that is so
that would be so awkward.
niche.
Like, what do you do? Just like, oh man, that's so funny.
love things
Well,
like that.
I mean, that's just like true to their acting skills. Where they're
True.
like they're one person, and in the show they're like a completely different person, but like it's convincing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. So the Dungeons and Dragons movie just came out. I will not spoil it. But something I thought that was really cute that the actors or the cast did before the filming of the movie started is they actually played a campaign as their characters.
cute.
No.
And Reggae,
Bridgerton man,
the Duke. I love him.
who's also
So
named
handsome.
Simon in Bridgerton.
Yeah,
and there's
which-
a character named Simon in the movie.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Whoa,
But he's not
another Easter
Simon.
egg.
They put that in there on purpose. No, but he actually, in an interview that I was watching, he's like, yeah, we all got together, and it was the most chaotic D&D game I've ever been a part of, because Chris Pine is there as a bard. And, like, bards, I don't know if you know anything about D&D.
I don't.
So bards are the ones that can use music to, like, as a power,
Okay.
basically. And they're very charismatic. Like, they can literally kill people by playing an instrument. Like, they're playing their instrument, and the music that's emanating from the instrument can kill people. Like, you can be whatever you want in D&D.
You can do whatever you
Wait,
want.
Wesley plays D&D. He
Yes.
probably loved that movie.
Oh my gosh, he did. He did.
It's so good.
I did too. It was really good.
And I liked that they showed the different levels of the characters, because also with D&D, you basically fill out a personality sheet, and you roll the dice before you even play your game to know how your character's personality is. So your character could be like super shy. Like one of the characters is not confident in himself and his abilities. And I feel like that was like a true representation of what a group like that looks like, where like one of them just does not believe at all, while another one's like, let's just do it. Yeah, let's just do it.
And one's just totally insane.
But let's just talk about quickly Chris Pine. This is all I'll say about it. Chris Pine's comedic timing is perfect. I was like crying. That's how much I was laughing. I just enjoyed it the whole time.
I mean, one thing that Wesley pointed out to me during the movie, might I add, he was like, "This movie's so good because it like," he's like whispering to me, because like it like really encompasses each character.
Yes.
Because like, I mean, in the story, like Chris Pine's character is teamed up with like a fighter, or I forget their name, but and that's like their job is to like fight off the enemy, while him as the bard is like, he's just kind of there for like, he has like the comedic relief, and he's kind of like the character, you know, he's not a fighter, so
doesn't
he
do
just kind
anything.
of stands off to the side and waits for everybody to fight, and then he's there, you know.
That's how it is in D&D. if your character is not a fighter in any way, like
You don't do
no
anything.
magic, no like, because
Yeah.
what was Michelle Rodriguez like? I think she was like a warrior, not warrior. What's the actual technical word?
I know
for
that's
it?
what I'm trying to figure out. I don't remember.
But apparently, with her character, sorry, I just remembered the part in the movie. With her character, a lot of characters like that in D&D campaigns are romantically linked to halfling characters. And so they played into that, and it was the funniest part of the.
Well, that
Our theater was laughing for the whole scene. We just could not get over it. It was just so fun. You need to watch it.
Well,
I recommend it.
And
to
then,
everyone.
so he was just like leaning over to me. He's like, yeah. And so like, it totally. There's a part where she's fighting off these bad guys. She has like 5 people that she's fighting, and he's like tied up, and he's like trying to like get like unloose, and like she's like just doing all the fighting, and then finally at the end, when all the fighting's done, he like shows up and he's like, all right, I'm ready. And like,
I love
yeah,
that.
there's nothing left to do, and they just walk off because like that's exactly how it works.
No,
in
no, it
D&D.
is. And like one of the characters actually asks him like, "Are you like what do you do then?" Oh, I come up with a plan. And then like, okay, well, how do you execute it? Well, if that doesn't work, then I come up with a new plan.
Yeah, exactly.
So like he tells everyone else what to do, and like, okay, yeah, we should do this.
It's a really funny movie.
I hope they make a sequel. I really like with the same group. It's very like Guardians of the Galaxy-esque, I feel like.
Yeah.
In the sense where like you just love
You
all
like
the characters for different
characters,
reasons.
and they all
Yeah.
kind of are like they fit together in a weird way.
Yeah, misfits.
Yeah, they're all very like misfitty, and they all have like their own background where they're kind of just lost, but they all come together and they're kind of like a family. And
Yeah.
it's like it's really cute.
It's really cute. I laughed, I cried. 10 out of 10 movie
Yeah.
experience. So they
Dang.
definitely hyped it up enough. I was over here like, I hope it's not
it.
overhyped. But-
Okay, Kim, do you want to go first?
Yeah. Let me pull it up. Oh my gosh, my phone was upside down. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I don't know if can't remember if we've done this one or not, but I'll just try it. Which 2 movies started from the same script? Is it A, Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which that one's an alien movie if you didn't know. B, E.T. and Poltergeist. C, The Goonies and Indiana Jones. Or D, Jurassic Park and The Land Before Time. I know. So which 2 movies
The
started from...
Goonies one?
See, yeah, Goonies.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
No, it is E.T. and the Poltergeist.
No, what?
The same
Poltergeist?
script. Poltergeist is a paranormal movie.
Oh yeah, she's a barbarian.
Barbarian. Anyway, so yeah, E.T. and Poltergeist. Fun facts. So, all right, Nat.
Teen Poltergeist.
Hey everybody, you're listening to Discussions with Heidi, and Kim.
We're 3 sisters who talk about anything and everything while playing trivia.
We can't promise we'll always stay on topic, but we can promise we'll always be safe for work. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Awesome. So today we're going to be talking about things that people should know. The things that you just want to be like, why? Why don't you know this?
Why?
Questions, what they should be able to do. I'm going to start because I think about it so much. Okay, a 4-way stop.
Oh.
Why do people not know how to do a 4-way stop? It's not hard. There you go.
Wow.
It makes me so angry.
No,
I'm
talk
like,
about it more.
well, it's just like, you know that like stupid like chicken game you start playing where like you try and go, but then they're going, so you stop, but then they see
Yes.
that you are going, so they stop, and then it's like,
Yes.
That's
you're
why
like,
I purposely
oh.
either go faster to get to the like the stop sign, or go slower so that we all know exactly who's going, so that I don't have to play that game.
Well, then I'm also the type of person, like, if it's not my turn, it's somebody else's, I'm, like, waiting for them. I'm, like, waiting, and Colton will be like, just go. Like, they don't know. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, like, it's your turn.
need to
Just
know.
go.
It's the law.
It's so stupid. Oh, it makes me
That's
so
why I love
angry.
turning, being in the turn lane on that
Yeah.
one, because I just wait for the one going straight to turn or to go, and I'm like, all right, going with you. Even if I just got there, I'm like, all
All right,
right,
best buddy.
we're in this together. Because if he gets hit, then I also get hit. So I'm like, maybe
Well,
people
he
see
gets
him.
hit worse.
Right, he'll take the brunt of it.
So, I mean, maybe you could even just like zoom away really quick.
I could. That's why I like turning in the four-way stop.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
goodness.
no, things like that do give me a little bit of stress because, as you guys know, getting out of our road, our street, turning
Oh, yeah.
left.
Not
don't
great.
even talk to me
Not
right
great.
now.
Dude,
Don't even talk
no,
to me right
one
now.
time that we Colton and I literally almost like hit
T-bone.
Jeff and Kim
T-bone.
because they like we were like just driving down the street and then Jeff just like pulls out right in front of us and we're like Colt's like slamming, we're like what the heck, and then it's like slow motion where we like see
It's me and Nat
Jeff
looking at
Kim.
each other.
Yeah, and I just
That's
started
funny.
laughing.
like,
It was so funny.
whoa.
How much would that have sucked though
Well,
if we
'cause-
actually like hit each other?
What's
Oh
crazy is
my.
I remember that exact moment because right before that, Jeff could not see. Like there was like 2 cars parked right there.
Yeah, there's always those stupid cars
Yeah,
parked
that-
right there. They
and
need
you
to
can't
they
see.
need to make that like red part longer because like
Same.
you cannot
you
see.
cannot see anything, and so he was
And people
stressed out.
always speed on that road.
They do.
We were
unfortunately.
late and Colt was speeding. So anyways,
And
go.
you almost hit us, which I thought that would have been interesting. If like we hit each other, but it would have been Jeff's fault because he didn't see.
Yeah.
But we couldn't see. He was getting frustrated. We were there for like 3 minutes, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna go." I was like, "Well, you don't know if the cars come." He's like, "I cannot see anything. I'm just gonna wing it." And then, sure enough, goes over, and then
Yeah,
it was like me and Nat see each other.
It was so funny. Like literally, it felt slow motion where I'm just like looking over and
I
they're just like
remember it.
passing. I'm like, oh,
Like, oh, thank goodness that's Nat. Because yeah, it was awkward.
oh my. Colton's so funny though because he'll do the same thing. Where like we'll be there waiting for a while, and there'll be like a couple times where like he could have gone, but he like waited, and then he like gets impatient. So then he just goes at like the first chance, even though it's like way worse than the like other 3 that passed
Yes.
by. I'm like,
I didn't know if this is like a universal male thing. Jeff likes to park in parking spots that are like mid to far away
oh yeah,
from places, even if there's parking spots closer to where we need to be. I discovered recently that might not just be a Jeff thing because my friend's husband does the same thing, and I'm like, is that just like a guy thing to just be
Thank-
afraid of that?
Thank goodness Wesley is not like that, or else it would actually make.
Well, because
me
he has
mad.
a smaller car too, so he
Like,
probably
it
thinks he
would
can
make me
fit
so
in
mad.
anything.
Yeah, but like, how much bigger is your car than his car? Not that
Not-
much bigger.
not.
That's true. That's true.
yeah.
I'm just thinking like width, not length.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
I've heard Jeff talk about it, and he's like, "Well, I just don't want anybody to like ding my car with their door," and I'm like,
I know.
okay.
They'll be like, so this is the parking lot, and there's open spots just scattered about, and this is where we need to be. And I'll be like, well, there's a spot. Oh, there's a spot. Oh, there's a spot. He goes all the way over here because there's no one on either side. He can't park in between people. And honestly, it's his distrust of other people.
Yeah.
He just doesn't trust others. So
For me, I'm like, my car's already busted, so it's, somebody wants to hit my car, it's whatever.
well, it's like you can't live in fear. I mean, like I get it if like it's a super nice car, but it's literally just a Chevy Cruze. Like,
yeah, easier said than done with fear, though. Fear
it's true. That's true.
affects us a lot.
Yeah, that is
Can
true.
confirm with me in the car, with me driving.
That is true. That is true.
I'm very fearful of things. Okay, I said okay. A lot of the stuff that I came up with for this today is stuff that everyone should know, but do I necessarily know? No.
I know. I was like, I'm gonna like call myself out on all these things.
Like, okay, I did learn at one point how to change a tire, for example. Could I do it now? Absolutely
I can.
No, I
I
can't.
can. So
Well,
if you ever stuck with me, you're welcome.
perfect. Perfect.
You also have a tire in your car.
I
And
do.
it's freaking annoying in the trunk.
It is. Because something just needs to help me go in and like actually like put it in its place. It's just kind of, I can't do it by myself. I'm not strong enough, and so like I have
Have
to
Wesley
like,
help you?
It's like all like ski wampus in there, and I just give up.
I see.
Ski
So
wampus.
that's why the whole thing is like all stupid back there.
But hey, you have an extra tire.
Hey, but
like,
at least she
should
knows
ha-
how to
should
change the
something happen.
tire. I'm that person that will call, hello, I need help. Because I can't.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could if, like, forced.
Have you guys seen that joke where it's like, I know how to, I don't need nobody's help, no man's help. Like, I know how to change the oil in my car. And it's like this lady pouring like vegetable oil in her car.
Or no, have you seen this one where it's when the guy's at home, or okay, when the girl's
Oh,
home alone,
yes,
she can do everything alone, like everything, and then the guy comes back from work, and all of a sudden
She's helpless.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
can't do anything by herself. That is me.
Yeah, that is 1,000% me as
When
well.
Jeff is home, I'm like, Jeff. He's like, what?
No, and then it makes me mad when like Colton isn't the same way, because like during the day, like there have literally been times where I'm like holding one kid in one arm and like I'm like talking to the other kid or like helping the other kid while doing something, and then Colton will get home and he's like, "Here, can you hold him while I go get his diaper?" I'm like, can't you just walk over there with him, or like
can't
to make his bottle? I literally will be holding Baylor and like holding something else, and I'm like making a bottle. And then Colton gets home and he's like, "Can you hold him while I make the bottle?" I'm like,
That's
yeah.
Add that to my list. Things that people should know how to do is multitask. I get so much crap for being the person that can play a phone game while I'm watching a TV show or movie, and it bugs Jeff, or it used to a lot more. But like I can really do two things at once, and
You can't though. Your brain flits back between, so you do miss things. It's scientifically proven.
I think there really is like a thing though with that. Like, yeah, you can do two things at once, but when somebody is like, I want to watch this with you, and you're on your phone, or like you're doing something else while watching it, yes, you may know kind of what's going on.
It's a respect thing.
Yeah, it's more of like I want you to just sit there with me while we watch this.
See, I on the other hand think that like people should know how to just like sit and be fully engaged in one thing, because our society is so like that. We're so multitasking. We're like flitting from one thing to the other. Like it's like honestly hard to find people that will just like engage in one activity fully.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I try to do a good job of that. If like
You do.
I'm around other people, I'll like put my phone down and just like engage. But like if someone else is not doing, if they're on their phone, I'm gonna be like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You don't care about this, I don't care either.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, one of my best friends is Katie, and she has severe ADHD, I'm pretty sure, where she just has to be doing something all the time. And so if we're watching a TV show or a movie or whatever, she has to be on her phone doing something. And so it used to bother me a lot, but then like finally I was just like, you know what, like she can't really help it. And like she can, but then she's just like she's either fidgety on her phone or she's just fidgety on the couch, and then I'd rather her be fidgety on her phone than on the couch.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you take it or you leave it, you know. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think it really bothers Wesley when I'm playing a game while watching a show or something, because he's just like, I want you to watch this with me instead of like looking at something else.
Yeah.
So,
but it is true. They're like multitasking is so important in a lot of parts of life. Like you have to know how to do some things at the same time.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I might have some form of ADHD, because in the beginning stages of mine and Jeff's relationship, when we were dating, I'd be on the phone, like on my phone in the car, just like not even texting someone, just like playing a game. And then Jeff like had a talk with me. He was like, hey, I would really appreciate it if you can, when we're talking in the car, you can look at me and like, even though I'm driving, like not be on your phone. And I was like, okay. So I did it like for a few days after that. But because I get so fidgety in the car when he's driving or when someone else is driving, I'm like holding on. I'm the one that holds on to the thing. He was like, he asked me like a few days later, he's like, do you think the reason why you're on your phone in the car is because otherwise you'd be freaking out the whole time? And I was like, yes. And he was like, okay, then you can be on your phone. That's fine.
like, honestly, it's so funny that men do that. They literally like Wesley will ask me a question, and then a couple days later, he'll have like a follow-up question. It's so funny. It makes me laugh every single time.
Yeah.
Like they're just slowly figuring you out a little bit. Yeah.
Because they don't talk. That's another thing is like like for example, when we play Fortnite with squads, it's fine. The reason why I like to play alone, because Jeff's always like, Kim doesn't like to play with me. Okay, whatever. It's not because I don't want to play with you. It's just like when I'm playing, I want to play with someone that is talking. Like he's very much like business.
Yeah, he is.
He's like, I'm playing the game and that's it. I'm in and out.
It's a Hatfield thing.
Yeah. And so he doesn't like to visit. He gets bugged. And so my friend Haley, we play Fortnite, just the two of us, and we're talking like 75% of the time. And then it's like we're playing, and then I'll be like, oh, by the way, someone's shooting at me. And Jeff is like, why are you guys playing like that? Why don't you guys just... Because I'm like, otherwise we'd be like this. I'm being shot at. Come over here. That's boring. And so I told him, I was like, I just have to talk. I have to like talk with someone while I'm playing. Otherwise, I'll just play and watch a show. So I'll have like a show on my laptop, on my lap, and then I'll play on my. That's what I've been doing. And so he cannot handle it.
Well, that
So.
leads me to my next thing is how long is a fortnight?
Oh, that was on mine. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I learned that from romance novels. From
Regency
Oh my
novels.
gosh.
romance.
I'll see you in a fortnight.
Oh
In
my
a fortnight.
I expect your.
I always was like, what the heck is
response.
a fortnight? And then I finally looked it up. Yeah,
I used to
that
think it was
person
like-
I didn't know.
I used to think it was like 2 days, but then yeah, I also had to look it up at one point when I was reading a book.
Yeah, well, I thought it was like the next day, like just one night. Like they just call it like a fortnight, like the next
Oh.
night.
I thought it was like not tomorrow, but the next night. Like, that's what I thought in my brain. I was like, but no, it's 2 weeks, which is so random.
Yeah.
Why call it a fortnight? Why is it called fortnight?
What's like a dozen? Why do we have a word for 12? 12 is such a random, like, just like.
How
why?
about baker's dozen?
Yeah,
What
those
up
are-
with that?
Yeah.
There's actually a reason for that.
Oh, tell
What,
me.
what?
Because they, well, no, I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, what? Tell us.
It's because when they make the dough, it always comes out to be 13, but there's only 12 like spots for the pan.
Oh.
Why are there only 12
So
spots?
they just make
So do they
it
just make extra
13.
dough in case something goes wrong,
Possibly,
or like?
I don't know. I will do some more research.
yeah,
I
get
had
back
it
to
in
us.
my head and then I got scared and now I'm second guessing myself. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, get back to us.
Because like watching the Great British Baking Show, sometimes they'll like make a little bit extra, and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I made this extra because this one did not turn out." And then they like,
Oh my gosh, that would. Have you? Okay, speaking of cake shows, this is so off topic. Have you guys heard of the Bake Squad on
No.
Netflix? Watch it. It's really good. It's these 4 dessert people, and the clients will come to them, give them the premise of what they're looking for, and then they each have their own specialties, but they have to come up with like the same or similar end product. And they're all so good, and it's not even like a competition technically, because they're like a team. But it's so good.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That
no,
is
it's
cool.
it's awesome, and they have 2 seasons on Netflix. If you
What's
guys
it
want
called again?
Bake Squad.
Bake Squad.
Bake Squad.
My nail tech put me to it. She was like, "Have you heard of Bake Squad?" And I was like, "No." She puts it on the TV, and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, stay tuned because we're gonna have an episode where we talk all about reality TV shows.
Oh yes, I probably should have
and,
saved that.
Yeah, we'll get into it even more.
I can talk about reality shows all day. Okay, another thing I came up with. I hate to be that person. Parallel parking. It has saved me a couple times. I have to tell you. But do we always do it? No.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely that person that's like, I'm just gonna park 2 miles that way because I
Interesting.
am not parallel parking.
No, but I'm not. I'm that person that's like, I need to park close to the building, so I'd rather just like zoop.
Well, that's the thing is like I can parallel park. I'm
You just
actually
don't
pretty
want to.
decent at it. It's just that I don't want people behind me to wait for me to get in.
Oh yeah.
So I always just park far away.
I'm the same way. I can parallel park. I have a mental block though because of the situation of getting my driver's license. But yeah.
Well, I actually failed my driver's test the first time, but the thing I scored highest on was the parallel parking, so they didn't even retest me for it the second time because
Well,
they're like, "Oh, your score was so high, you're good." And I was
Yeah,
like,
I think I've told you the story where I failed the parking test, the license test twice. Because if you hit something, it's an automatic fail.
right.
So I literally had like flying colors in every other part of the test, but when it got to the parallel parking, the car was so different than what I'd been practicing on that like I don't know, I just kept like backing up and I just like barely hit the cone the first time. The second time was funny because one of my best friends was in the car with me. And I was like backing up, like doing the parallel parking, and she was like, like just starts like coughing, and I was like, hit the cone. She was like, dude. So then anyway, third time, I like just like did the worst parallel park you've ever seen, just being so cautious not to hit the cone. And the teacher looks at me and he's like, I know you can do better than that. I was like, you better not fail me if I hit this. But then I did like a perfect parallel park. Like I just was nervous. It was just like all nerves. But I parallel parked many times after that and been fine. But
Just the other day, I was parking on the side of the street at mom and dad's house, and so usually in front of our house we have enough sidewalk where I can park and my dad's truck can fit, right? And he was like, and coming into the street you can like usually just like pull off to the side and pull up.
Right.
But my car was on the farther up, so that his truck was parked behind me, so I wasn't able to just like pull to the side and pull up. I had to like pull up and then back in. And I'm usually so good at parking. I don't know. A couple days ago, I was just struggling, and I ended up like going onto the curb somehow. Like, I literally was on the curb, and I was like, I didn't even feel myself get up there. Like,
You got out of your car like,
it's like, cool. What is happening? So then Wesley was in the car with me, and he just like looks at it. He's like, "Oh my gosh!" Gets in the car, does a perfect back up. Like, oh my gosh! I was like,
No,
I'm
but-
usually a lot better.
I was gonna say you're a lot better parker, so I'm having a hard time like visualizing this.
I don't know. I was just having an off day, I guess.
That's
It
hilarious.
happens to the best of us, Kate. It really does.
But I was like, I promise, I'm a lot better parker than that.
If I told you the story about Dad at my softball tournament.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. I need to know.
So, when I was like 13 or 14, I played softball, and we were at this tournament one weekend. And so we had been spending a lot of time with all the girls, like making good friends and everything. Dad was there with me. He was like helping coach or whatever. And we had just like won this game. Like we're in super good spirits, and we're walking out to the parking lot. And one of my teammates goes, "Wow, what idiot parked that truck?"
And it was your dad?
Yeah. So I'm like horrified, right? Because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna impact like my social standing on the team. Like, I don't know. It was so funny. I was like, Dad,
Good job, Dad.
That's my dad.
I did.
Thought it was a joke or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, it was
Yeah. She thought I was kidding. And I was like, no, it's my dad's truck. Oh yeah. And Dad's face, he was just like it was just so funny. Like just Dad just being like he didn't know what to say. It was funny.
Well, didn't he say that the other person that was like next to him before him was like parked super badly?
Maybe.
And so, like,
I hate that when like somebody else forces you to park badly, and then like you feel like other people are like probably mad at you because you're scawampus.
Skiwampus. That's the second time that's come up today. Why? Is that a word I should know? Is that a word I should know?
I think it is a word everybody should know and use.
Yeah.
It's a perfect way to
Yeah.
describe things.
Oh my gosh,
I've
that's
never
a good
heard
point.
it before until today.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Guys, I'm half white.
Okay, that's another thing though. There are certain words I can't think of right now, obviously, because that would be too easy. But that like I say, and people are like, "What does that mean?" And I'm like, yeah,
Duh.
like I guess you don't know it until you know it. But I'm like, how do you not know that word?
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example. Let me think. I don't know. See, it's not going to come to me right now. But it's just like
Stage
simple
fright.
things. I think people should read more a little bit. It helps with vocab. But,
True. It's
Anyway.
true, and it helps with like spelling, and
yeah.
I
It
think
does.
that I'm convinced that's why I was such a good speller.
Oh yeah, 100%. Me too.
Like,
Same.
I think we talked about this already, but
Stay in school, kids.
I've always just been like a naturally gifted speller.
Oh yeah, it's because you see the word so many times that you just like know.
Yeah.
You just know how it's
And
spelled.
so like I don't know when I've been working with these kids that just like they're like 5th grade and they just don't know how to spell like saw, like SAW. I'm like, that's a word you should have learned in kindergarten.
Yeah.
No, but there's a thing that like a peppy for me.
Thanks for listening to Discussions. Hit the little camera icon and follow us on Instagram at Discussions Podcast to stay updated on all things Heidi and Kim. And don't forget to catch us on next week's episode.